Hey MetaFam, Peeweezo here. Welcome to the channel. Big news today regarding GameQBator Labs, which is the company that's behind the company, MetaZoo Enterprises LLC, which purchased MetaZoo Games LLC from the bankruptcy court. I know, it's a little bit confusing there, but these are the people that are behind the purchase of MetaZoo, and they have released a letter to the MetaZoo community I believe on October 15th, 2024. So just a few days ago. And I just wanted to go through this letter with everyone and just give my thoughts on what I think about MetaZoo moving forward, because this is really big news. It's actually really great news in my opinion, but there have been others in the community that are a little bit worried about the direction that it's going. But yeah, let's read through the letter first. This is a bit like a podcast style, so I'm just going to read through the whole letter, and we're going to go through the people behind GameQBator Labs and just how everything will be, I guess, melded together. So this is as we can see here, it's a letter to the MetaZoo community by Rick Ahrens, CEO/caster. For those that don't know, casters are those that I guess they're the players of MetaZoo around. They were called casters. So you got like head caster, you got arch caster, you got the different casters pretty much. Casters are the people in the MetaZoo world where you contract beasties, which are the cryptids in MetaZoo world, and then yeah, you would play them. So that's what the word casters come from, which is a good sign already, which means that Rick Ahrens is already a MetaZoo fan, or the people behind GameQBator Labs, they actually had somewhat of a knowledge or passion behind the original MetaZoo. So here's the letter. It starts, I was lucky enough to join Wizards of the Coast under the guidance of Peter Atkinson at the dawn of Magic the Gathering. Through tournaments, conventions, magazines, and more, Magic found thousands of people who loved it. Some of those people are still playing today, and they have millions of new people to play with. Together, we popularized the trading card game as it is known today by believing in The Gathering, the meeting of gamers in hobby spaces. In 2002, I joined the Pokemon Company, where I was blessed to spend nearly 2 decades as executive vice president, working with some of the best to deliver another beloved trading card game, Pokemon TCG. I watched Pokemon TCG take the world by storm when it hit the US, pull back in the mid-2000s, and then find its footing and grow to become the most beloved entertainment property in the world. For me, Pokemon has always been about fun, incredible quality, and a never-ending dedication to the TCG industry and its growth globally. From my experiences, I learned the most important of several things, but above all, I learned the power of humanity to deliver games that matter. At GameQBator Labs, humanity is not just an influence, it's our whole objective. In many ways, we are new. Our name is likely new to you. Our team is working in this combination for the first time, and today we are announcing that MetaZoo TCG will be our first product to come to market. But in many more ways, we are familiar. Our game designers have built many of the most beloved TCG properties in the world. Our team members have spent hundreds of years collectively living and breathing cards and games alongside you. We have piloted card concepts through every stage of production and every phase of the developing trading card culture so far. We are looking forward to taking everything we've learned and putting it behind a property that we believe in, MetaZoo. Cryptids are a global presence with deep regional ties. Billions of people have heard the stories, and some purport to have experienced them firsthand. The power of their stories is at the heart of human storytelling. We are happy to announce that our first MetaZoo product will be a new, original trading card game available in Q1 2025. This base set will be the first of several planned expansions that begin to develop the world of MetaZoo. Join the community on Discord, and then there's the link, discord.gg/MetaZooGames. And that's something else that's interesting. So MetaZoo Games Discord, the official Discord that we all know and love, right, guys? If you know, you know, have pretty much got wiped down to its base, just like the base settings again. And I should say that's the end of the letter. And then it was signed by Rick Aaron, CEO/caster, GameQBator Labs. Okay, so let's get into talking about what this all means. The most important part, of course, is the last part where it says, we are happy to announce that our first MetaZoo product will be a new original trading card game available in Q1 of 2025. So the wording of this has caused a lot of debate, I guess, in the MetaZoo community that's still out there, mainly in the Oasis Discord, which was originally founded by Argos Anonymous. He's taken, I don't know, I'm gonna say he's on a big hiatus from MetaZoo. He used to be a partner of MetaZoo. He was one of the biggest content creators for MetaZoo, but then he stepped back from MetaZoo when everything went down. And he was kind of like lied to by the previous management. So I think he's just focusing on family now. I'm really happy for him. I still see him on social medias, and he still follows some of the posts sometimes. And the debate about this is the new original trading card game available part. So it sounds like this is going to be a revamp of MetaZoo. So, which means some people are speculating that the gameplay will be changed pretty much completely. I do believe like the card back and like the user interface of MetaZoo will change a lot, because like the UI, so like of the cards itself, is a little bit confusing. If you see on the side, there are like the traits of the beasties, and there's also the terrors that affect them. But there's no real explanation about what those traits, and there's also like status ailments that they can have. And they've changed that throughout the different sets as well. So they had like rule books and updated rule books, and it got a little bit confusing. So I think that the new MetaZoo that's coming out next year will fix that a bit, so it's a bit more easier for people to understand. Maybe with a trait, they'll actually put like the brackets and an explanation of what the actual trait or ability or ailment actually does, so people don't have to flip through like I don't know, like 100-page rule book or something about it. And also the back of the card that you can see. I think that I know it's not a big deal to a lot of people, but it's supposed to be like, part of it is there's like a pentacle or like a pentagram that people see, and to like religious cultures and to certain people, it means something else, or it has like a deeper meaning, or some people may take offense to it even. So I think in order to make it more acceptable for everyone, and for it to be more inclusive, I think that MetaZoo, maybe they can keep the font of MetaZoo, but just change like the other aspects of it. It's supposed to be like the spell book that the casters use to contract beasties, right? So it makes sense why they did it that way, because there's some like occult elements technically with MetaZoo and like summoning and stuff like that. But that's like everywhere pretty much in our culture nowadays. But I think they will be doing that. So that's my first take on what the new MetaZoo might be doing. The gameplay wise, there are people, contrary to what a lot of people say, there are people that enjoy playing MetaZoo. There was actually like the towers in 2023. That was competition based on the different auras of MetaZoo, and then there could be like a headcaster for it. I think they did the water tower. Did they do the fire tower? I think they did fire tower, and then like the dark tower. And then before that, there was like the Casters Cup, which was like the world championship for MetaZoo. And there was like such big buzz and hype for that. That was like at the end of 2022. So there are a lot of people that enjoy, and it was a competitive scene as well. A lot of people that enjoy, and there are still people that still play MetaZoo. I do believe like there's like a group called South Bay Casters that still play MetaZoo pretty actively right now. And some of them are concerned that MetaZoo will be changing their whole gameplay. Others are saying that the gameplay was not very good initially, and that with as we can discuss later on, one of the people is Richard Garfield, which was the creator of Magic the Gathering. He's one of the lead designers now for the new MetaZoo, and that's going to take MetaZoo. I would say I do believe that it's going to take the gameplay in a bit of a different direction, But as we are talking about, the team, this is actually an important part. They have updated their the team page, so you can actually see them. So I'll show it right now. So we have Rick Ahrens, CEO. He's a former executive VP of the Pokemon Company International. There's Emily Ahrens, which is the COO, Chief Operating Officer, who was the former, Senior Vice President of Licensing and International Business of Pokemon Company International. So we already got 2 Pokemon-related, executives on this new GameQBator Labs team. So like I mentioned, Richard Garfield, lead game designer known for Magic the Gathering, King of Tokyo, and Keyforge. King of Tokyo, I believe, is a board game. I believe I played with my friends before a few times. It was pretty fun and easy to play. And Keyforge is another TCG, which had I believe unique decks that you could play. So it's completely different than any other TCGs that were out at the time. A similar game that's out right now, it's called Altered TCG, which they have unique cards. So it's 1-of-1 cards, but I believe Keyforge had 1-of-1 decks. So maybe MetaZoo will be playing around with other ideas. Maybe Richard Garfield, out of his mind, he will think about something that's another revolutionary thing to take MetaZoo to the next level. Next person, Scaff Elias, which is another lead game designer, and he was a former senior vice president of Magic the Gathering R&D division, which is research and design. Next person, Tyler Bielman, another lead game designer, there's a bit of a spelling here, so if you GameQBator Labs, you're watching this, maybe change this to former creative director on Gear Tactic, Gears Pop, and Gears of War E-Day. Gears of War, I think it's a first player shooter. Might not be 100% sure about it. Maybe it's a board game version of it, but I do remember there was a Gears of War video game that was a first player shooter. We have Charlie Herlocker, which we have talked about previously a little bit as well. Charlie was the signing manager for the purchase of MetaZoo Games. So there was so he's the director of business development. He's a founding member of CGC Cards, which is the card grading and also comic grading service. 50-year high-end trading card dealer. We have Sean Kaufman, which is going to be a senior director of product development. Ooh, that's really nice, actually. So he is Squeaks from Squeak Games. He used to be a really big Pokemon content creator back in during the COVID era, right? So 2020, 2021. And I think he stopped creating content around 2022 because he wanted to focus on his life and go a different direction. So really great to see him again. I really liked his content before. So he was the founder of Squeak Games World, 10-year online TCG retail veteran. So good to see Sean on this team. And then the rest are people that I don't really know too much about, and we can go through them as well. We have Travis Dundless. He's going to be the director of operations. He's a former vice president at Sherwood Partners, Inc. I tried to look up Sherwood Partners, Inc. I couldn't find too much information about it. Maybe I'll dig a bit into it later on, but we'll just take that for what it is. So he also has some vice presidential credentials. Let's just put it that way. We have Dustin Zimmerman, art director, designer of 2 Indy 500 logos, former art director at Matchbook Creative. So art director usually takes the direction of the artwork. For example, for MetaZoo previously, we had different art directors, and what they did was kind of give the feel of the cards and made sure that all the card themes were kind of matching, and the art style was in the way that they wanted to for each specific set. So that would be Dustin's job. We have Connor McConville, associate business manager. He's a 2024 graduate from Santa Clara Levi School of Business, BS Marketing. Connor, it'll make a bit more sense why he's on the team. So Cooper Ahrens, it sounds like it's the son of the other Aaron's, so Rick Aaron, CEO, and Emily Aaron, COO. So likely their son is Cooper Aaron's. He's going to be a game developer manager, and he's also a 2024 graduate from Santa Clara Levi School of Business. So likely Connor McConville was a classmate of Cooper, or like maybe someone he met at the school. So they're likely working on this together from there. And we have finally Dennis Pham, which is going to be the marketing manager. 2024 graduate from the University of Washington, studied BA or business administration. So Dennis, I'm open for collaboration as a content creator. If you do need to find some people through the marketing route, I am here and available. So just a little plug in there for myself. But yeah, so that is the team that's behind GameQBator Labs. Very promising roster, as many have seen and discussed. And I do think that MetaZoo will be taken in a new direction. Art-wise is a little bit something that I'm not 100% too sure on, because on the one hand, I feel like they may want to take the artwork into something more modern, because MetaZoo originally was to kind of like replicate the watercolor style of the 1990s and early 2000s, right? Like with Pokemon, how it was originally. And there's also so much artwork like from War and for Legacy set that was coming out, and maybe even SCP that the new MetaZoo could use, but just like make them into full art cards or something like that. So they already purchased that with their $2,050,000 USD purchase of MetaZoo through the bankruptcy sale. But on the other side, I can see they may want to go a different direction, because some people said that the MetaZoo artwork was very childish. They didn't really like it and stuff like that. So I can see from both sides where they might want to take MetaZoo artwork. I hope that they keep it with the original, what they're doing now. What MetaZoo was, because I really do enjoy that 90s nostalgic artwork that MetaZoo has. Let's see. So we talk about gameplay. We talk about the artwork. I guess getting back the MetaZoo artists. So what I recently learned is that technically artists don't have to be exclusive to one trading card or one IP, because there are actually a lot of artists that does like Pokemon and One Piece. So before, the artists had to be exclusively MetaZoo, so like Kelsey or Afton. But in this case, I guess they could be working on their other TCG artwork, but also helping with MetaZoo as well. So let me actually leave a comment down below what you think the art direction will go. I think this is something that's really up in the air, and we won't really even see until even a roadmap might not even show this, right? Like if GameQBator Labs decides to show a roadmap of what they're going to do in 2025, like the artwork, we still don't know what it'll be like. But for sure, if the people involved have done Magic the Gathering and Pokemon, they're going to really want to make this like very publicly accessible. So they'll want to make the art style in a way that I guess the general public and not really like a niche group that would really like. And artwork, and I guess like the IP, they spent $2 million to buy an IP. I don't think they would just only be adopting the MetaZoo name itself, but change everything else, right? And this letter itself, it's literally called a letter to the MetaZoo community. So it feels like it's directing it to the existing MetaZoo fans and also closet MetaZoo fans that kind of just follow on the sidelines a little bit. I've seen my last video. I was pretty surprised by the amount of views it got, because like the amount of people that are actively in MetaZoo is just like a few hundred people. But that video got a few thousand views, which was pretty surprising. So thank you everyone for watching. I do really appreciate it. And I hope MetaZoo will be alive and well again and can meet a new glory age of MetaZoo again. MetaZoo IP, I love the story. Some people maybe not like it too much. I really like the veil shattering, and then like the songs really went well with it. I know like adding color, they said that they also made the war theme song already. So maybe the first set that'll be the new base set could be like war. So they start off with war and they go to Yokai Island. Yokais are like Japanese cryptids, well, Asian cryptids. So maybe they'll continue with the storyline. I really hope they do, but I like Pokemon to be fair, they're kind of like cryptids too, right? But they have their own copyrighted or specialized names, right? So I think that maybe the new MetaZoo might also not use like Piasa Bird, Mothman, and stuff like that, and gave them like more unique names that they can copyright, kind of like what Pokemon does. I really am looking forward to this. I treat this as really positive news. Some people treat it as not too good news. I think that, like I comment on most places, a new revitalized MetaZoo is better than a dead MetaZoo. So as I said previously, for the old MetaZoo, I'm ride or die. Ride died happen, and now I'm getting on the ride again. But to be honest, the old MetaZoo failed because of previous management, most notably like Michael Waddell and Andy Murat, right? To my knowledge, it doesn't sound like they're involved in this new MetaZoo, which is a really big sigh of relief to the community. And I bet too many maybe LGSs and partner stores that got burned by the previous MetaZoo management. So I hope this is a new beginning, and let's take this journey together. So as always, I do really appreciate everyone taking the time to watch this video. Got a little bit rambly at the end. I apologize for that. But as always, if you could please leave a comment down below. If you can please subscribe to the channel, I greatly appreciate it. And as always, keep on casting, and I'll see you guys next time.